Okay, people, so welcome to episode one of my podcast titled Finding Harmony. And as I said in the pilot, Finding Harmony is aimed at giving us the opportunity really to think about how we could come to a center, operate at a place where we are not going to be agitated or be pulled in every direction by the vagaries of life, because recent events have taught us that things are not what we have come to believe them to be. And so in this first episode, I want to talk about our two minds, which is always at play, and I am referring to our conscious mind. I'm referring to our conscious mind and also the unconscious mind. And what I actually am referring to here is this, and I'll put this in an illustration. Often find yourself saying to in any situation that, oh, I really do not want to do this, and especially when people talk of addiction to anything, you say to yourself, oh, I am going to begin to exercise every day, and then when it's time for you to get up, your body or your flesh will tell you, oh my God, you are too tired. Can you not listen to this, or can you not feel this? And that is a battle we face in almost anything or everything that we do. And these things come about because over the course of our lifetime, no matter how long, we have come to learn certain things and therefore operate in ways that have become almost automatic to us. You are told that you must sleep for a certain amount of time, and if women are looking for relationships, you will be told that the guy must be this or must be that, and we gradually relegate our own mind, the thought, our ability to look at situation and make judgments and determination for ourselves. We lose that, and then we begin to just simply operate on the ideas that have been given to us. And we come to do this thing so much so well that we think that they actually are our ideas, when in fact we are operating just what we have been told. And so living a life of mastery or trying to do anything successfully requires the ability to basically just constantly have this dialogue with yourself to say, why am I doing this? And ultimately, what is this for? And one of the ways that I tend to look at this, if you read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey always asks this question. Let's say you have 2 weeks to live. What sort of things will be important to you? And I think now we were gifted this opportunity by nature with this lockdown around the world. And I keep asking people, assuming this is our lives, what would you do? Would you still find the things that you find as important? How are you going to live your life? And I think we always want to brush things away because we want to believe in the things that we have been taught to be normal. But whatever we know to be normal is not really normal, and we have an opportunity always, if we want to find equilibrium, if we want to be in harmony with life, to be able to come to our center to say, if I do this, I am happy. Because there's always these stories which come from Hollywood, and you hear about people who have mostly achieved everything that many people are always running about and dreaming for. The famous one being somebody like Robin Williams, who eventually committed suicide, or when I heard the story of Brad Pitt and his struggles with drug addiction or alcohol. And then I say to myself, if money and fame and everything should provide this fulfillment and satisfaction, these are people who have all of those things. And yet, they are struggling, as hard as you can ever imagine, to the point of people taking their lives. So these things point to the fact that we must actually slow down and just find the things, like in this time where there's a lockdown around the world. How are you going to keep your sanity? What things do you think you are going to do or you would like to do that will make you know that, yeah, I have done my part for the day, or I have done my contribution to the world? And the ability to do that is not going to be easy, because you are going to come into a battle. And the book, The Chimp Paradox, will tell you that your monkey, the monkey mind, or your unconscious mind, which is mostly the flesh, as the Bible will describe it, is very, very powerful. And therefore, it doesn't let go. So most of the time you see a man will say that, I am going to stop doing this, especially when you have, say, an abusive man, for instance. And after they've done something, in the act of remorse, they will say to themselves, I promise I'm not going to do this again, or this is never going to happen again. But guess what? The moment the situation happens, before they will even get a chance to think, the unconscious mind, which is the flesh or your body, would act quickly. It would overpower your brain. So before you even come to have a think about it, you have already performed the action, because that is automatic. That is the part that you do without even thinking. And so it takes an act of practice regularly to be a kind of person where your very simple actions, and you can start with very insignificant things. So before you do anything, any simple thing, like when you are going to even choose a cutlery or choose something, just have a little dialogue to say, okay, why am I doing this? Because the more you do this, then you are going to become that person who operates on your thought rather than on your instincts, which is more so from your unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind is not your natural instinct, it's mostly what you have been programmed with, through your learning of everything that you've been taught. And the only way to divorce from that, Jesus called that redemption, because he told the Jews that you think you are children of Abraham, but you are actually slaves. You are slaves because of the way you think, So our captivity, our sinful nature, is held or translated in the way that we think. And salvation or redemption or our freedom comes from when we are able to exercise our own judgment in the things that we do, rather than just acting on autopilot according to the way that we think everybody expects us to do. So in this episode, just I want you to think about one thing, and it's about begin to shift away from operating in an unconscious state, because the Bible describes that as the living dead. Many people will be walking, but they are dead. But if you want to be in control, if you want that spirit, the quantum field, the energy that lives within you to exist, then you must actually practice being in control, because your will is not easily going to prevail. Your flesh will prevail. And if you want your will to be done, if you want your will to be in control, it's not just going to come by wishing it or declaring it. It is something that you must practice. You must learn every minute, every hour, every day. And the more you practice this and you do this over and over, it's going to become your natural way of operating, and you relegate the unconscious mind. So thank you for listening, and I shall be with you again. My name is Michael Ankara, and this is Finding Harmony. Thank you very much.